Hello and welcome. Welcome to Math 31 with RTD Academy. My name is Mark Lambert. I'm one of the teachers here, perhaps your teacher as you do this course, and I'm going to walk you through how to do the lessons and how to do the homework and how to access a few things like your schedule and your grade book in this course. Now on this page you can see I'm in the LMS. This is where we host everything, our learning management system. I'm going to scroll down a little bit, and there's going to be a tab that says My Schedule, or maybe My Schedule and Information. Now if you click on that, you're going to see an outline. Now I'm going to start here. I'm going to click on that outline for this course, and it shows that this course is divided into 3 sections, section 1, 2, and 3, with an exam at the end worth 30, 23, and 22%. Each section contains either 3 or 2 chapters or units, and there is an assignment, 1 or 2 per chapter, that are going to combine to be worth 25% of your overall grade. So I would encourage you to take a look at this, and there's different information as well about your exams. Exams are going to be covered in a different video from me, but I want to speak to this one here with student engagement, as this is an important one, near and dear to my heart, and that is that students stay actively engaged while they're students at RTD Academy. This means logging in regularly, keeping in communication with your teacher, and doing the assignments and lessons and whatnot on a timely manner, aligned with the schedule that you're going to set up, your own custom schedule. If you're ever away for any longer period of time, certainly more than a week, we simply ask that you stay in contact with your teacher, let them know, keep them in the loop of what's happening, and then do your best to keep caught up. Our goal is your success, and success starts with staying focused and engaged and regularly logging into the course. So I'm going to leave here. Next is your schedule. Now when you have that meeting, your schedule is going to appear here underneath as well. So that meeting, that online meeting with your teacher, where you'll discuss when you want to start, when you want to finish by, what kind of pace you want to do, and it's going to be customized for you with all the dates for every lesson, every assignment, every exam, target dates that you're going to do to finish this course. So that'll be built and put in there when in due time. So let's jump into the actual content. Now first of all, you notice that there's something that says chapter 0. So before we get into those 3 sections, what is this chapter 0? Well, this is just going to be background skills, background things for the course. Some of it is like review, like this is review, math 10, like equation of a line. That's actually really important in this course. Factoring, stuff you've done like that. Some of it is new, not particularly difficult, but just new, like factoring a sum or a difference of cubes instead of a difference of squares, and you could do a sum as well. So if you click on that, maybe you're not sure what's going on here.
Factor 27.
It's going to be going over this concept. Okay, so you got a video discussing how to factor something like that, and then different things like dealing with fraction and negative exponents and how you can factor expressions. Now I'm going to leave this though. I'm not going to spend much more time in here, and I wouldn't encourage you to necessarily start here either, but it depends. You may want to start here and go over these, but you may just want to jump in. Okay, so you could just remember, you can just kind of make a mental note here that there are various videos and learning tools there if you need, as you need, when you're going through the course content. So let's jump into chapter 1, limits. Notice that there is a workbook. Now I'm going to click on this workbook tab because it's sort of a workbook, but really this is just taken directly out of the e-learning course. So this is just taken right out. I'm going to show you where you're going to find this too. Now some students would prefer, as they're doing, one of these lessons, or when they're doing this entire unit, is to work off something like have a hard copy, right? So they can do the examples, they can make notes, they could fill out the activities like this. So they've kind of got a template. That's great. That's a viable option. But the entire course, all the content is going to be found in here. So if I click on lesson 1, secant and tangent lines, I'm going to press resume here. You're going to press start, and everything that's in this notes pack is going to be found there, right? So this is just the same thing. So this is all of this stuff here is just going to be right here. So you could be making notes maybe. Maybe you want to make your own notes. You have a notebook. So this is going to be for lesson 1, secant and tangent lines. And you can jot some stuff down, some key things, and you could try things first. Right? You could try any of the class examples that are in here. The way it's laid out is you're going to see little embedded video links like this. So if I click on that, it's going to be a video covering what's on that page. And you got these little interactive pull downs, like what's a derivative and what's an integral. And I really feel like getting into that now because it's such a fun topic. But I'm gonna hold myself back and leave that for you to kind of explore later. All right, so you could put an answer in here, like why you're doing Math 31. You could submit it, and then you just move on to the next page in the lesson. So now I'm on page 2, finding the slope of a tangent line. This one's got a little bit of an interactive element. And the interactive element here is pretty straightforward in that I can play around with different types of secant lines to this particular curve. And then we define a tangent line as touching in one spot. So again, I could kind of play here. There's not a whole lot to this one, but I will just tell you that, hey, right here, these tangent lines to curves, this is what it's all about in this course. So much of it comes down to this concept right here. And I'm going to show you something. If I kind of park that tangent line right here, this is a horizontal tangent line. Well, it's almost horizontal. I'm having a bit of a hard time straightening that exactly out. So maybe I need to give up here. But if I kind of park it there, I got a horizontal tangent line. That tells me that I'm at a minimum or a maximum. So that's kind of tells you key points about the function. And that's what, again, that's what you're really going to get into in this course. So now next there's an exploration. Where you're going to kind of read through here, and it's going to talk about like how you're going to find the equation of this tangent line, and you're going to enter your answer, like what's the slope going to be here, what's the slope here. You can input it and you can get feedback. So if I put the slope, it's not 2, it does say 2 there. I haven't really read this yet. No, that's not it. So but I could check what the answer is, and I could try it again. Over here again, once I input it, I could see what the answer is, and I could submit it. Oh, it hasn't changed, so I have to put something here, and then I could submit it, and I could get, oh look, I got that one right, and then I get another one over here. Okay, so you're just kind of engaging, playing along, filling this all out, and getting that feedback with that answer key, and then you advance. Okay, so I'm going to move on to the next one. Here's an example, and again, I'm going to fill out this table. All right, so it's the first point is done for me, and I'm going to fill out this table. And if I'm reading through this and I'm really not exactly sure what I'm being asked to do, notice that there is a video link. This one's a little smaller, but if I click on that video link, a little pop-up's going to come, and it's going to explain how to do a question, either the exact one I'm on, or in this case, a really similar one with the same exact idea. I'm going to kind of walk you through how to do this one, so that you're able to fill this one out as well and participate. If you're ever stuck though, like hey, maybe the video didn't help or there is no video, you can click on Message Instructor. It's going to take whatever you're working on, so I could see, and just select your instructor's name. If it's me, and you can say, need some help, or not sure what it's asking in the second part here, and I can give you some guidance, feedback, maybe make a different video or something like that, or add one if there's not. Just send that along to me, and that's a good efficient way to get learning support as you do this. I'm going to go back over here. Fortunately, I need to start over again the way I did that. But you can always come back and pick up where you left off. And just to show you this, when you're finished this example, this is a short lesson. Notice that it switches. Like look at the top of this page. It switches to homework. So the homework is just at the end of every lesson. And you just keep it going in here. Okay, so this is saying draw a secant line. So yeah, we can draw a secant line from 2. So I just kind of find 2 there to 5, and then I could just hit enter. It doesn't need to be perfect, although I think I did get it pretty perfect here. And then I could just submit it, and then I could see that, okay, I got it right because I got 0.5, meaning that there's still more to do, and that is to come up with the slope over here. Okay, so that's explained how to do this over here, but if you need a video, you can click on this video link, and that's going to explain again how to do that particular question. Okay, and this one is sort of like click through and click through, next, and you can see the different steps. I will tell you right now, if you do get to this video, which again it's not a video, but it is a solution. It's a little hardcore for this question. It really gets a little bit in intensity in getting an algebraic approach. You don't need to actually do an algebraic approach. I'm going to go back to here. Unfortunately, I got to start over again. That usually comes in pop-ups. I don't know if it's my browser setting, but that usually comes in a pop-up. But anyways, I could just go right back to where I was, and I could put my answer, and this is just like an estimate. Just estimate what that slope would be, kind of estimate what the coordinates would be here as a decimal, and it would accept a wide range of answers. Okay, when I do that, I go on to the next question, and I would do the same thing here. This one's got a written example. I'm not going to click on that one. Next question's got a video, and here's what else I want to show you. This one's got a video again. You can always message if you're not sure. Remember that. You're doing your homework, and I'm going to stop maybe at this one. So we've got a parabola given by some equation at some specific point, and we want to get at the slope of the tangent. Now I'm going to put in 5, which I did not get right because I didn't really think about it, did I? But notice I could try it again. Now you have to always try twice. If you try twice, that answer key is going to appear, and you can see what the actual answer is. And then maybe this one doesn't have a video, but maybe I get some instructor support. I go back and review my notes, and I'm ready to try it again. And if I click on get a similar question, now notice that function, 2x squared plus 2x plus 2, now it's new. Hey, that's a different parabola. It's a different equation. So this is called a randomizable question. Most of them are, not all of them, but you can just do a question and you click on get a similar question, and it just generates a brand new version, very similar, right, but with different numbers in there that you can try it again. So every time any student would log in and do question 12 on lesson 1, it's going to be a different version. It's going to be a different question. And again, that would almost certainly be the same thing with this one. So that's what doing the homework looks like, okay? So keep in mind, again, those key ideas that you can message help. There's always going to be, almost always going to be videos or worked examples or something to support you. And the questions, for the most part, are randomizable, that you can get different versions by submitting and then clicking on get a similar question. Okay, so that's a different function now, 4x cubed with a different point there. Kind of neat, I would say. This is really where the good learning takes place, is in doing this practice and committing to doing things right. And to that, a couple things about calculus in specific. And number one, this is a highly algebraically driven course. Meaning that we can use graphing tools sometimes to verify things, but we don't use graphing tools to get answers in calculus. There's always going to be some algebraic method. So when you're doing your test, I really encourage you, when you're doing your homework and you're practicing and learning this stuff, to do it the right way, because the questions in the test are going to get you otherwise if you're not ready, if you're counting on using graphing. And speaking of which, you can't even use your graphing calculator for the section 1 exam, and I'm going to point out why that is, because section 1 includes a unit that's called curve sketching. So for section 1 exam is no graphing calculator. 2 and 3 graphing calculators can be used. That's okay, but you may have sold yours by then because you no longer need it, because you are an algebraically driven calculus student. Okay, so scientific calculator is okay. Scrap paper is okay, and so is a formula sheet. And where did I see that? If I click on chapter 1 again, you're going to see it right here in every chapter. If I click on the formula sheet, you can have this for any exam. And the formula sheet is like Math 30, even a unit circle built for you. Wow, that's nice. And then a bunch of calculus stuff here. It's a longer formula sheet. Wow, it's 6 pages, and that's just, again, to get you kind of excited about what you have in store. So this can be used on any exam, but again, not a graphing calculator for the section 1 exam. And with that, my young learners, we got one more thing, and that's the gradebook. And I'm going to show you this really quick. You click on the gradebook, and this is going to fill out with everything you do in the course, including your lesson homework, which will get graded, which doesn't count towards your grade. So if you go and look down here, you can see that the homework is 0. And look, I've already got 14.6% on that, feeling pretty good. So you can go back, you can start it one day, go back and finish it another day. This will all fill out your lesson homework marks, then your assignments, which actually count for marks, and then your 3 exams are going to fill out in here as you go. So that's your grade book. So that's it for your first video in accessing this course. If you're doing the COM course and you have a question that requires you to give a code for this course, and that code is DONE, D-O-N-E. You are done the first video. You are learning your way around. We'll see you again at the next one.